Accessibility is important for a lot of reasons. Digital accessibility is really important because access to information is a human right. Accessibility in general, in broader terms, is very important. The ADA, over 30 years ago now, declared that it's a human right to make not only properties and infrastructure accessible to people with disabilities, but also information needs to be accessible. And a lot of that information today lives online. And so since the ADA was signed into law over 30 years ago, a lot has changed in the digital sphere. And we, as a technology company, have done a lot. Not just we as a technology company, but like other people, in addition to Tamman, who are working to build the accessible web, have done a lot to try to ensure that people with disabilities are able to access any sort of information that they may need, and create that equal experience for someone who has disabilities to somebody who doesn't have a disability. The CPAC exam is something that I recommend to any designer, any developer, manager, HR person, anybody who is starting their journey in accessibility, because not only does it cover accessible web design and how to make the web accessible, it also covers the 7 universal design principles, which really allows you to just reframe the way that you're thinking. So that has had an impact on me in my everyday life. Frankly, I just look at things differently now. I look at doorknobs, I look at sidewalks that have cracks in them. I know that I know that somebody in a wheelchair may not be able to get around in our city, and it just it creates this fire in my gut, just knowing that is not right for a significant population in the country, and it makes me want to make things better. Somebody with a permanent disability may have been born with a disability and has been a part of that community since birth. Somebody with a situational disability might be something as simple as a mother carrying her child on her hip and needs to access her cell phone using only one hand. An example of somebody with a temporary disability might be, for example, you had LASIK eye surgery, and for a period of time you were not able to see. However, after a period of weeks and after some healing, you were then able to use your computer as normal. Another temporary one may be a broken arm. Personally, I'm right-handed. If I broke my right arm, I would have to make a few adjustments to be able to work normally and access information the same way that I used to. When you're making accessibility changes, you have one person in mind sometimes. So sometimes you're designing for one person. However, most of the time it's good for everybody. So we like to use curb cuts as an example. I know that's more of a physical thing, but curb cuts are not only great for somebody who is in a wheelchair, but they're also extremely convenient for mothers that are pushing strollers, kids on bikes. There are countless ways that one change has just improved the lives of so many people.